shit to talk about, see? Enough things to talk about. Done. Trying this shit up. Not like me, don't even know how to work these things, you know? A lot of shit to talk about, same way. Age of awakening. Age of awakening. You ask me, age of awakening ain't for everybody. Age of awakening is for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. You have a lot of people waking up to their own ideologies of what's going on. The age of awakening, different enlightenments within the false frequencies of what's unnatural. So whoever is getting the truth, the real truth, those are the few that's waking up to what's real. Because if you ask me, we have more trannies walking around than ever before. We have more unnatural ways of thinking, thought patterns going on in this age of awakening. You're in a time now you can't even look at somebody and say that's who they are. Got temples, people are hosts for spirits that's against humanity. You allowed your aura to be weakened so much, or you have these spirits entering your temple, influencing thoughts on the mind. So therefore you have the enemy who's walking around in a human vessel. Age of awakening my ass. If you ask me. The average entertainer start to talk about, man. The average celebrity, entertainer, politician walking around this bitch. A lot of them were infiltrated from a young age, born into this shit. If it wasn't their parents or grandparents, whoever their offspring of, or if they chose, whether they chose to become part of it. You know, you have different walks of life, different ways they were infiltrated. Therefore, their gender, from even a young age, gender switching. You have a lot of these entertainers don't even know that they're not really who they are. So you got this rapper, this male rapper, you have no idea he was born as a female, vice versa. You're dealing with, we're in a world where there's multiple people that share the same spirit. So the higher self for those multiple people, that higher self basically has different chess pieces. It's not just one person he's occupying as a host. It's multiple people. And you can even look at it in the sense of they have a lot more skins to go in when their meat vehicle expires. That's why they can still smile at an old age. Evil as fuck, and they can still smile. Keep going and going. Live on. You want to defeat the game of life? Yeah, a lot of people speak about, oh, I don't deal with karma. I don't believe in karma. Well, okay, let's leave out karma. You still get what you put in. You still reap what you sow. So in layman terms, if you sum it down to a word, it's karma. You're still dealing with karma whether you like it or not. Whether you believe it or not. Oh, I don't. What goes around comes around. Same way, whether you believe in karma or not. You treat somebody like shit, expect shit to come your way. And it's not always what you think it is. Just because you went and did some bullshit, like you went and robbed somebody, doesn't mean karma's going to come back around to you in the form of robbery. Your karma could be something else, like losing your job, going bankrupt, kind of what degree, form of disease. You probably talk down to somebody, and your karma could be getting robbed. Your karma could be in the form of your own child giving you attitude, looking at you like a weak father or mother. I don't think you have everything figured out. There's many forms of karma. You don't have proper discernment. You always find yourself guessing. You want to know why? You don't have proper discernment. But the temple is so flooded with all this acidic bullshit, you can't even decipher things properly. You want to clean out yourself. You don't want to clean out your system so you can decipher things better. And all the shit you're eating, the food has been infiltrated. I guarantee you probably more than 95%, if so, of the food in the grocery stores is all infiltrated. You know what they're putting inside that shit? Seeds. Parasitical seeds. So when you eat that shit, the worm grows inside you. Oh, you still live. You still live a life without even feeling sick. But guess what? When you're feeling that false sense of high vibration, that parasite is growing inside you. You got some called, you gotta look this one up, Morgellon. That's a form of a parasite that's in most of your food, your meats, especially the fast food industry. They have something called Morgellons. You got all kind of worms out there. That's the latest one that's been going on for a while now. The GMO worm that they've made. These worms are so intelligent. If you ask me, these are forms of demons in a parasitical form. These things grow inside you, and they're very intelligent. Send signals to your brain, infiltrate your thoughts. And this is why I would say, and many will say, that your thoughts is not yours. All that shit you're thinking is not your thoughts, because the parasites are sending wave signals to your brain, instilling fear, anger, hatred, doubt, all kind of low vibrational frequencies taking over the body and the mind. That's why you don't think with the head, especially if you have a bad dietary. You're not eating healthy. What makes you think your thoughts are going to be healthy if you're not eating healthy? You got to cleanse out these parasites. May do a stream where I can show you different products that you can use to cleanse yourself, because it's very important. Because a lot of people feel like they're vibrant high. You might feel vibrant, but really, imagine how you'd feel, how much more vibrant you'll feel if you just cleaned yourself out, cleanse yourself. Because sometimes the parasite is not grown strong enough where it fully taken over yet. So be careful with false vibrations. We live in a world anyways where even if you clean yourself out, there's a lot of things you have to work on, like the radios and TVs and cell phones and all these fucking signals and frequencies coming out of these devices and still influencing you. The soft metals that's dropping out the sky over time. So it counterattacks the positive plasma. If you ask me, natural plasma is the natural vaccination. Then they make their own type of shit, right? They make their own. A lot of people call it the dab nowadays, right? They make their own fucking vaccination. If you ask me, the natural elements, which is plasma, is a natural vaccination for humanity. It doesn't take a needle, which is unnatural, to give you good health or immune. A lot of people, who's very tired in these times here. You hear a lot of things about people feeling very weary and tired. You gotta understand it's a good thing, because rest is a natural remedy. Rest actually helps to cleanse your body. But what good is it if you keep fucking going back on the same shit as soon as you wake up and throughout your day when you're up and about? What is rest really doing for you then? You're not utilizing it properly. You're not doing the things it takes to complement what rest does. So if you're feeling tired and shit like that, it's your body's way of trying to cleanse itself. You're so fucking acidic. Most people, even their thoughts and what they dream about is infiltrated. Your dreams are even infiltrated. And you're trying to figure out what the fuck you've been dreaming about. Why did I have this dream? Oh, what does this dream mean? What is this and that? Not knowing that that dream is just something that was injected into your brain. It's not even a natural dream. It wasn't a dream that you would dream if you weren't so acidic. All this worm in your body, these Morgellons and all this shit that you're taking in, sending signals to your brain, which impacts your dreams. And then when you go to somebody who can read a dream or look up what your dream was about, because it's all over the internet, you see this and this, and then it tells you remedies, and you go by these remedies, not knowing that that's not even the correct direction you should go, because those dreams wasn't yours in the first place. You send your blood out to these people, and then what do you think they're doing with all the blood when you go for a blood examination? What do you think they're doing with all your blood? And you have all these fucking clone duplicates of people that's living around the world, especially underground and wherever the fuck they have their bases, growing with thoughts or memory, which blood has in it. Blood has memory in it. And if they're sharing your blood, a false person who's not meant to be here, you're probably all sharing the same thoughts. His thoughts, her thoughts is impacting your thoughts, like telepathy. That's where telepathy comes in. And it's a motherfucker. And this stuff is a little bit too complicated for people to understand. To the point they give up or look at it like bullshit. But this is what's going on. This is why you have a lot of thoughts that's negative being injected to the population. It's that simple. This been going on. You know, like a fucking voodoo doll? Showing in these movies, voodoo dolls. What they're really trying to talk about is people that they made in a test tube. And what happens to them influences what's going on in your head. And when they're taking how many tubes of blood outside your body, be sure it's not just one person they're making. It weighs down on you. You know what a voodoo doll is? Like when you put a pin in one area and it affects you here. You stab a pin in the voodoo doll's arm and it hurts you. You feel like an itch there. This is real shit. But instead, it's in the head. It's thoughts. You could sit there and keep taking life for a joke and keep eating this shit with all the seeds in there that's going to grow worms in your system. Because these seeds latch on. They don't go through the digestive system and get shitted out like everything else. They latch on and then find their way up and latch on places where you have pain in the body, send out signals, brain signals. And then your brain starts thinking about those areas. Like a person that has hyperhidrosis, for example. Hyperhidrosis. They have a sweating condition. I had that growing up. I might do a stream where I speak to you about that separately. I'll tell you this. When you're not thinking about it and you're unaware of it, it's not impacting you as much. It's not on your mind, so therefore it's not sweating. But the moment you remember that you have this condition, and you look, you begin to start sweating. You remember it now. See, focusing your mind to not think on negativity is the key. You focus on the task at hand. You don't think back. You don't think forward. You don't dwell on negative shit that's going on in the current moment at hand. You stick to your goal and your task, and you move towards it. That's all you can do. Not people. They keep thinking in the past, thinking about their plans, rather than just doing the current moment in hand, just dealing with the current situation at hand. So therefore, you have something that you need to be doing. Maybe it's a hobby that's going to get you somewhere in the future. Rather than thinking of the future, where it's going to get you and what you need to do in it, you just do it. And then when you begin to work on it, other thoughts will direct you to what you need to do next. It'll just come to you. The feeling will come to you. But the more you think of what's injected in your brain, you get stuck, and then other thoughts start coming in your head that didn't come off you moving. You wasn't doing action. You were just sitting there thinking, and then other thoughts came while you're doing action. And when those thoughts come, then you can begin to move towards it. It's a difference. It's a teeter totter. It's a give and take, push pull type shit. You got to think properly while you're doing action. While you're doing action, though, you find yourself not thinking about anything that has to do with the future and the past. You're in the moment. And then when that's done now, just an automatic thought may come in. What the problem with that is if you're not fully cleansed, even that automatic thought that just comes for you to do the action next, it could be something setting you up for failure again, leaving you stuck sitting down about negative situations because you're not fully cleansed out. Those signals are still coming to your brain from those worms in your body. Those thoughts are still getting injected. Now, let's ask a few questions. I didn't get to share out this link or nothing. I was just testing this bullshit out, see if it works. But so I don't know if these people, if I should answer some questions that I think I might be able to help with. I have like a little thing here. These parasites now. What happens with these parasites? These parasites also have a way of making you fiend for meat. Or every now and then it'll come in your mind where you feel like eating meat. And you got a lot of arguments. I'm not going to disagree with people that's for meat and whatever. What I always say is, if you don't season the meat, does it still taste good? Just fried meat, don't put no season on it. And you tell me, does it taste good? Does it smell good? With no season. You ever ate meat with no season? When was the last time you had to put season on fruits? See, the more you're acidic, a lot of these movies are showing you this shit. It's these vampire and zombie movies, these things that fiend for blood. You get a hard on for the blood. They want some type of meat. That's the acidic nature calling out. Calling out, needs to be fed. That's why you feel sick when you detox. You feel sick because your body is getting rid of these things, and your body was so immune to it because it had it in its, your body has a defense mechanism, which is getting used to pain or immune to things that's unnatural. It finds a way to work with it to the point you begin to live with these things for so long and still feel natural, not knowing that they're harming you in the long run, harming your thoughts. When you begin to kill these things, or stop eating meat, for example, and you go on like an all fruit diet, nuts and beans and fruits, you find yourself feeling a little tired or fatigued or not like you used to because your body was so dependent on it and so used to it that now it's tired. What it's doing, your body has to, just like how it had to get immune, just like how it had to get immune to the meat situation, it needs to get immune now to living without it. So you're going to go through a period of time where you're feeling a little slobbish. But that's normal. The thing with it is some people think that because they feel that way, oh, me not eating this shit no more is not good for me. Oh, it's not good for me. And then they go back to their regular lifestyle because they think that, okay, I felt that way. That means I was on the right track because I was feeling a lot better when I was eating this shit. And then you get more and more gallons piled up in your body. Then before you know it, your acidic nature becomes the norm. And your candle begins to get moved. Your blood type candle is where you have people that once was this blood type, now they're this blood type because you picked up ways of another blood. You picked up systematic ways of thinking, lifestyles that's actually harming your blood. And now your candle was moved to another blood. if you continue in acidic nature, your aura begins to dim, right? Your aura is the light in which outer influences can see and hear you, can detect you. If you stay in an acidic nature, you're not being heard as you should. Nature can't help you because your aura, your light is not shining bright enough. And the more dimmer and dimmer your aura becomes, it's the more your thoughts that's injected in your brain is not yours. When your thoughts is not yours anymore, no longer, the more you start picking up more and more acidicness. And now you become to go on a path of destruction, and you went too far that there's no coming back. And you know where that leads you to. Jail, diseases, sickness, death, cancer, You went too far where there's no turning back. And now you want to pick up all the things that you once heard that was good for you. And it's too late because these things grew to the point of no coming back. And once you allow that to happen, your only remedy at this point, your only remedy at this point is to do all the things that you once ignored. Reaching out to outside influences. Please help me, help. Hey. That's why it's better to start. Hey, some people say it's never too late. It depends on what situation you're talking about, because as far as I'm concerned, it is too late for a lot of people. Even as we speak right now, it's too late for a lot of people that are sick. No coming back. You gotta leave it into the hands of the Most High at this point. Do all you can. Even though it may not help. But guess what? At least you tried the last minute. Maybe a miracle might happen for you. Because these GMO, genetically manufactured worms that's inside the body, when these things begin to take over, I'm telling you, it's not going to be too good for you, my friend. When things, the invisible nature begins to take a toll. This is why when they talk about the veil, a lot of people think, because they know all this shit, they think the veil has been lifted from their mind, not knowing that you're still stuck. You're very smart, but you're systematically smart. You're very knowledgeable, but you're knowledgeable within the psyop. You're not spiritually wise with wisdom. Most people in these true communities and shit that know all this shit. They read a lot of books and they know what's going on and all this stuff. But if you're supposed to bring up some stories that you spiritual shit that you have been through, which the eyes can't see, your average naked eyes can't see, they begin to think like, okay, this is getting weird now, or what is he talking about? You know why? Because they're not spiritually wise. They don't have spiritual wisdom yet. They have systematic wisdom. You have wisdom within the psyop. You don't judge people that's telling you about some spiritual shit that they went through or some extraterrestrial shit that they went through because you weren't there and you're not them. And as far as I'm concerned, there's many smart people that's very knowledgeable within the system that are not spiritual at all. They just believe what their two eyes can see. If I can't see it, I don't believe it, right? That's on you. Let's see how they'll act when things actually start coming to play. Let's see how brave and strong you're going to be. Just like how you were brave and strong within the system. Let's see how powerful, mentally strong you are going to be when things begin to take place. Or you just might find yourself going back to things that you once ignored, neglected, going back to scriptures and shit like that. And at that point, it may be too late because you probably won't be able to read it anymore. Or they probably going to infiltrate them even further, more than they did in the past. You know, there's many people in this world that's just a host. Their temple is just a host for these spirits that's looking for bodies. And their job is to influence other people, also take them with them. Come in the form of kindness in order to fuck you down later on down the line, fuck you over. So you gotta be careful with people that smile up in your face too much. Or you think you have a lot of people in this world that don't have attitude, or when you're joking around too much, they may think that something is wrong with this guy, or he may have it too easy because he's smiling and laughing and joking around too much and he's too kind. So that means he obviously, his heart, he hasn't been through a lot, or this and that. And actually, if you're a person that thinks like that, you are also narrow-minded. But then the double-edged sword in that, the duality in that is, at the same time, that's the way it is. It is like that, but at the same time, the duality in that thing is you can't think like that because you never know somebody. You never know. That may be their defense mechanism for all the shit that they went through in their life, which is laughing, joking, and smiling and being a kind heart at all times because they know the game of vibration and frequency. Keep it high at all times. Now me, because I know that the duality in not thinking like that in the form of judging, because it was a pattern that you've seen growing up. People that's like that, they obviously have it easy. What I do is I keep to myself. If somebody say good morning, I say good morning back. Doesn't mean I have to engage in conversation with you, but I don't give nobody attitude that's unnecessary. And I'm not going to smile up in people's faces because you already know how the average person thinks. So therefore, you got to have a balance in your movements in life because these people out here are very evil and they will move on you when they find a chance, especially if they know where you stay, your in and outs and all that shit, and we're close to the end. Say something happens just tomorrow and people know you're in and outs already. What do you think these people are going to do? These fuckers out here, these evil fucks, especially if you're a black man. What do you think they're going to do? Well, I know one guy that lives over there. Yeah, he's not serious. We can probably get his house. He lives over there. You keep your shit to yourself. You don't cast jewels to swine. Casting pearls to swine. Talking to people that don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Your belief system. They take you for a joke. Because they didn't see what you've seen. But they think they know everything or they know a lot. Where they think you're talking shit. So you keep your shit to yourself. That's a gift between you and the Most High. You don't worry about them that don't believe in no creator. They feel like they're God. Let's see how much of a God they are when shit hit the fan. Let's see what they're going to do since they think they're God. I don't talk down to no fucking, to nothing I don't know nothing about. Just because of what even if I have pure knowledge and all kind of shit shows me that that's bullshit. I don't have an opinion on it still because I wasn't there. At the end of the day, what you're reading still came from a man. It still came from somebody else. What you learned still came from an entity that's walking this earth just like you. Yeah, some people, their information didn't come from a man. Their information came from their spirit. Their information came from an entity that they can't explain to people. And maybe it could be in the form of a dream. It could be bad in day. You go back to what I said with Morgellons. When these things infiltrate and inject thoughts in your brain, it's not always your thoughts. So you be careful with what you think is real within dreams. You have some people that have been through shit that you have nothing, no clue about because you are too much for this world. Even though you think you're not. Now, I ain't for this world. Sure about that? Because as far as I'm concerned, most people in this world don't like hearing spiritual shit. It's to the point that's talking about spirituality sounds cliche now. It's cliche all of a sudden, spirituality. So you want me to talk about just what I can see with my two eyes like you? This is the way people think now. That's why you keep your shit to yourself and stop casting pearls to swine. You don't cast pearls to swine. They're not calling people swine, but it's trying to say, in layman terms, you keep jewels to yourself and stop telling people who is never going to change or stuck in their ways. And they may act with you. You might bring jewels to them, they'll act with you. Oh, yeah, true thing. Their back is turned in their mind. Fucking idiot. The fuck, this guy's weird. Talking about you behind your back and shit like that. And those are the fish face fucks, the wicked ones. They can't say shit to you in your face when you're by yourself with them. You know when they can talk? They talk when you're away about you behind your back so they can turn other people on you without you seeing. It's a sad world that people are kicking it with other fake motherfuckers. It's a sad world to see a conscious motherfucker kicking it with somebody who's fake as fuck but act like they're conscious, act like they're bringing love. And it's the world we live in. Fake love, fake handshakes, fake smiles. How you think the fucking enough people are so wicked in this world if it's not the worms in their fucking body? Why do you think they're so fucking wicked? Because they're influenced by other people who systematically influenced. They're just weak. You may be conscious, but you're very weak. And what do you think happens then? You don't take in people either. You want to hear truth? Look within. But how can you fully look within when you're so fucking acidic? How? How can you look within yourself entirely when you're living so acidic? You're supposed to look within. That's the point. The truth is in you. It's written inside you. You know what? That's bullshit at the same time. Because you have a lot of people walking around here that's not even human. They're just in a human body. This is what's going on today, my friends. Systematically manipulated motherfuckers walking around this place. They allowed their aura to be dimming so much that now they allow the spirits to take control and don't even know it. They allow their candle to be moved and don't even know it. So if you ask me, there is fucking shit out here going on when it comes to angels and demons. This is the world we live in. This is spiritual warfare, principalities of the air. And that's real. You don't listen to these motherfuckers that's going to sit here and say, I don't know about principalities of the air and shit like that. Oh, okay. You stay on this physical nature. You can teach people something though. Maybe when it comes to banks or buying a new house or something like that, how to maneuver around in society. You're systematically smart. That's what it is. You're not spiritually wise. You're systematically smart. And unfortunately, being systematically smart in this world comes with knowing a lot of doctrine also. Yeah, I was once one of those motherfuckers. Oh, Black Power. I was once one of those motherfuckers. Oh, melanin. You see with your two eyes. When somebody brings shit to me about spirits and shit like that, it's like, well, where you getting that? You know why? Because I was too fucking acidic. You know the first thing that happened to me when I cleansed out my body for the second time? And after going through that hump of being slobbish and tired and shit like that, you know what happened to me? I started seeing shit that I keep to myself to this day. Only a few people out I spoke about that to. Because the average person would not understand. They'll take you for an idiot. And I'm talking about even the most powerful true community people that have all these followers and shit like that. Try to tell them that shit. Well, I know about all that. I don't know about all that. That they're not spiritually wise. They don't have wisdom in the spirit. So your fucking kids, a lot of your kids are older than you. You don't even know it. Yeah, they're your kids in this physical, but their spirit is way older than yours. So you don't judge people. And unfortunately, the kid, you're feeding your kid all this bullshit, all this baby food and all this unnatural fucking chemicals in their body. And then they fucking grow up with a parasite inside them. They're feeding for things that's unnatural, that they weren't even supposed to be eating in the first place. You put that into them. And it's not your fault because you were manipulated as a baby also. Trickled down generations. This is why I talk about karma. Karma doesn't have to come back to you. So if I rob people for their belongings, my karma may not come back in the form of robbery. Matter of fact, my karma may not come back to me. It may come back on my offsprings. And maybe not your direct kids, but your grandchildren. And if you can't understand that, I can't help you, my friend. That will be casting pearls to swine. So these vampire movies are showing you. When they make it into this Disney shit or these little fairy tale type shit, that's what they're showing you though. The fiending of the acidic life, the fiending of acidic nature. You can't leave it alone. It's calling you like sex, like sweets, or some people love sours. It's calling you. You're making your taste buds influence what you eat. Sometimes you're not even hungry. You don't need to eat nothing. But your taste buds feel like you want to eat something. You feel like I want to eat this right now. But you're not hungry. You know what that is? That's the worm sending signals to your brain. That's what that is. Age of awakening my ass. So that's if you ask me, age of awakening my ass. You know what? That's bullshit too. Because the age of awakening, as I said at the beginning, is just for the people who is going to wake up to the truth. Just for a few people. And those few people are going to be the ones that cleanse their body. And it's not bad just because you didn't wake up with the rest of the people. Don't look at it like that because we need a balance in this life. You need good in order to have evil and evil in order to have good. You need dark for light, right? Vice versa. So they're just playing their role. In the school of life, they're just playing their role. But for where you are, the train that you're on, you excel on that train. Unfortunately, you have these people that live their whole life positive and all that shit, but fell back at the last minute because too much false flags, to the point that when something really goes down, they're not ready because there was too much false flags in the past that they can't believe this shit no more. It's like, and when something finally goes down, you see them running for their fucking life. So I tell people, man, you do your own history, your own research. Stop taking people's word for face value. Look up shit yourself. Sometimes you can acknowledge people. You don't take their word for face value. We live in a world today. We have people that's a part of the same fraternities, and they're putting on a show for you on social media. Act like they're going to war with each other, but really they're a part of the same fraternity. You know, like the fucking red and the blue. It's no different. Put on a great show. And you give them your time. You give them your time by listening to them. And then after that listening, you go and gossip just like everybody else. If you really look at it, the world is based on gossip at this point. Yeah, social media is just gossip at this point. Everybody gossips. Everybody bears false witness. And as far as I'm concerned, that shit was written in those books that people don't like to acknowledge and want to burn and throw away. But who's talking about bearing false witness? As far as I'm concerned, most people in the world is doing it. You're not there, so how do you know that he did this, she did that? You're bearing false witness. And you're so smart that people take your word for face value, and then they become to bear false witness under your influence. And then it circulates again and again. The same shit keeps going around. Round and round and round. You know, none surprises me in this world anymore. They normalize everything that's unnatural. Everything that goes against the Most High is normalized. Everything that goes against nature is normalized in the sense of the killing of animals, the mass slaughtering of animals, like a fucking general assembly line in a workplace, of meat just coming down the aisle non-stop, every single day. Thousands and thousands of sheep and buffalo and cows and all this shit is getting murdered. You know, the thing about it is, those things were supposed to be last scenario situations. If there is nothing to feed yourself, nothing to eat, worst case scenario would be the killing of an animal. But it's so normalized now, where it's the not even every day, it's every second of the day normalized, the killing in a mass number. How do you expect people in a mass number to be fully alkaline if that's what's going on? You know, maybe there would be a chance if there wasn't putting chemicals in the meat that they're mass slaughtering every day by the second. But nah, This is the reality of it. All your shit that you're eating has worms in it. And to make it worse now, the soft metals are in the fucking meat. Because those same stock are standing outside 24/7 until sundown, where they go in the barn with shelter over their head, so they get slaughtered the next day. Some wait weeks. But this is after they grew up. Beef them up while they're taking in all these soft metals from the chemtrails outside 24/7, just like you when you're sunbathing. You don't even feel the static no more when I touch a doorknob. That's how much plasma they're trying to hide from you. You don't even feel the static anymore. Static shock when I'm putting on, do my laundry and the static. Because we're electrical beings being taken away from you. Sun being blocked. More than 50% of the rays are being blocked. And then when you finally see it, it's just for a certain time until the clouds pass by again. The weather's unnatural. The heat is not coming from the sun as it should, the natural heat. We have some unnatural heat that's overbearing now, coming from a light source that's feeding off of these soft metals, and it's getting hotter and hotter when that time of year comes around, and it's getting colder and colder when the other time of year comes around. Unnatural weather, manipulation. Shit is off balanced. What you should do, since we are all creators of our own reality, which we are, but it's bullshit too, because it don't go for everybody. It only goes for the few that answers come to when it comes to the age of awakenment, the age of awakening. You know, they always give you the truth and then water it down with some fairy tale bullshit, exaggerate on it, over exaggerate or under exaggerate. They made the splicing of human DNA and animal DNA, mix them together and all this shit. Experimenting on livestock, which even has to do with us as humanity, mixed with animals. And you'd be surprised. This is what's going on. It's been going on. And if you talk about ancient times, the splicing of these creatures has been going on for that time too. What they give you on TV though, or when you go into the history books, they give you dinosaurs. Make it a little bit kid friendly or into like a fairy tale, but really what they're talking about is splicing human and animals. Fucking with DNA. So even back then there were scientists. This is where we live in, my friend. Get used to it or get left behind. You don't have to get used to it if you're somebody like me. What you do is create your own reality. You become the author of your own reality. Like for me, for example, this shit doesn't affect me like how it's affecting a lot of people. It doesn't affect me like that. Ever since this pandemic came around, this was the most peace I've ever been at in my life. We have a lot of people, they can't handle it. You know why? Because they're so fucking social. They're so on social media. They're so used to dibble dabbling around and fucking parlaying and loitering. They don't give time to themselves. That when they're forced to have time to themselves, they can't handle it. They're breaking down like a motherfucker in a fucking in a hole. You can't handle being alone. If you can't handle being alone, I don't trust you. But what the fuck would you do to a man like me if you had the choice between that and choosing yourself and your friends over your family just to be social? You're a motherfucker who can be alone. He can always make the right choices because that doesn't impact him. His influence comes from the most highest source or the source within, which still connects to the most highest source. Because you have different ways of getting to the most highest source. Gave you different options just to cater to your weakness and your strength. Some people is better with the eyes. Some people's better with the mind. Some people's better with the heart. Regardless of what you're better with, you always had to start from the ground up. It is a chakra-based system. And I showed many of fucking examples on different platforms and shit like that. The chakra is no different from the scale of acidicness to alkalinity on a pH scale. It's the same colors with the chakra. That scale of pH is on everything. From your urine, the water, chakras, everything. Rainbows, every fucking thing. If you can't escape from within, what you want to do, you have luminaries in the sky. Luminaries. They're all just portals. It's so simple. But you can't be too acidic. You have to work on your pH factor when it comes to your blood. You got to clean out your blood, clean out your urine, clean out your system in order to make this more effective. And what's the point in doing that if you never tried to go from within yet? Try going from within first. If going from within doesn't work and you know that you're alkaline, and there's ways to test if you're alkaline. I already told you, get fucking pH strips. Piss on it. Check your blood pressure. Simple shit. If you know you're alkaline and you try going from within and that's not your forte, what you want to do is stargaze, sun gaze, because there are portals. As within, so without. Just like as above, so below. As within, so without. So if you can't go within, you can try going without, which is the outside, because the luminaries is inside of you. But if you tried it and you know you're alkaline, go from without. So you want to get the sun gazing. You stare at the sun or the stars, or if you're a nighttime person, or you see what I'm saying? Even options there. If you don't want to do the sun gazing, do the nighttime gazing. Do the moon gazing, the star gazing. Whatever is your forte. He gave you different options to go through. So you stare at the sun. And you close your eyes. And your eyelids, the back of your eyelids is like a movie theater. Right? The back of your eyelid is literally like the big screen when you go and watch a fucking movie. That's how it is. It's connected with your P-now, the vessels from your eyelid. When you close your eyes, you're going to see outprint of the sun. You're going to see all these color shit, spectrums going around in your fucking back of your eyelids. You focus in on a color spectrum and it's going to penetrate. You don't keep no thoughts in your mind. Try and focus your brain on thinking of nothing. It's just total meditation. Or if you want to think on something, think of something positive, like nature. So you focus on that. You go within the color spectrum. You focus on it. And it's going to keep bringing you and bringing you until you're going down a wormhole. Some people may feel like they're falling And some people can't handle it, so they wake up because it's like a tunnel, it's like a wormhole. And it brings you to where you want to be. You can manifest paradise like that. Some people are that good where they stargaze, and that star, since you can't directly touch a star, obviously, because so far, you can gaze on it and you can get there through the portal of your mind, which connects to the vessels at the back of the eyelids. It's that simple. This is what I do to escape. And you want to be somewhere where it's quiet and you're not getting interrupted. Many ways to escape. Those are natural portals, and you can't touch it, so it can bring you there from the mind if you stargaze on it. You can sun gaze on it. I do both. I like to sun gaze and stargaze. And they bring you there if you're a person that doesn't like going from within. Because maybe you think too much if you try going from within, or you don't have enough patience. You can't stay one place. You try it that way. But you can't do it. It cannot be effective. You can obtain it, but you may go to somewhere where you don't want to go because you're too acidic. So you gotta outline your body in order to make it effective in a positive manner. Or instead of going to somewhere that's evil, you go to somewhere that's righteous. It's just like dreams. When you're eating too much low density food, your dreams become low density. Or you don't dream at all. So there's many people that don't even dream. But they're so low density. They're too of this world instead of just being in it and getting by and doing what's right and not making the ways of the system your reality. You're too of it where the ways of the system become your reality. So you're affected with every pandemic. You're affected with everything they put up there, every fear tactic. It actually affects you. What you need to do is get your mind out the fucking gutter and stop watching these shows. Turn off the TV and the radios. Stop listening to these low density frequency music that you think is not affecting. Oh, it ain't affecting me. My mind is that. Oh, that's what you think. You can always tell a motherfucker that has negativity in them because obviously it shows through their emotion. They're easily riled up. Niggas that you're having a conversation or a debate and you're calm. You can always tell that motherfucker if he's acidic. He gets riled up quick. His voice starts getting loud. He doesn't have composure. He doesn't know how to hold a conscious debate without yelling, or his voice composure is getting high. And you know what I mean? Those are motherfuckers. They think that they're high vibrational, but really they're not. You can always tell when you're alkalined up. You can always tell who you're speaking to, where they are. With me now, I don't have to speak to somebody to tell. That's how much I'm alkaline. And I know if I'm this much alkaline and I can read those things, imagine where I'd be if I was to the fullest of my potential. I could spot them from far away. Where I say hi and bye, good morning, and that's it. Ain't no fucking conversation with me. I don't do that shit. Cause these motherfuckers, they'll take your kindness for weakness. Yeah, some people they're kind at first, and then they'll take it later on. They figure out, oh, he's not serious. He's cool still. Yeah, those are the same people. If shit was going down in this world, they're the same people that try to rob your ass. Lucky for me, I could deceive them. When they try that shit with me and they get a plug to their head. Watch these motherfuckers. You know, watch them. You pay attention to your surroundings. Be aware. You don't watch people. You do you. Instead of focusing on what other people are doing. Unless they're coming to you, you pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings. A lot of people that like to watch people and judge them don't know shit. You can always tell an acidic motherfucker when you're, and you know what? Having good discernment doesn't mean your veil is lifted, because there's different aspects of alkalinity throughout the body. You might have an alkaline heart, but your mind is not fully alkaline. You gotta alkaline every aspect of your body. Like, for example, each chakra, when I say start from the ground up, I'm not talking about just building up your esteem and shit like that. When it comes to breathing techniques, like I'm talking about actually within the groin chakra, the lowest chakra, the root chakra, which is actually from the soul, actually. And they put it at the groin because you're sitting down. But the root chakra has other chakras in it. There's a spectrum in there. So you want to work on each level of those spectrums until you master the root chakra. Then you go to the next chakra, do the same thing. There's spectrums in there. Do you master it? Till you get all the way to the purple chakra. There's ones above that, but you want to master that. Most people in this world will never even get to that. That's how acidic this world is. Because even the best men, they're just stuck in the mind, the purple chakra. And there's chakras above that, but they can't seem to get there. You know why? Because those are more heavenly chakras. And if you're too worldly, you don't even try. What you need to do is try and get yourself out of the ways of the world. Be of the world, but not in the world. And you say be of the world because you are a product of this world. You are made, if you're a natural man, it was made on this world, not your spirit. I'm talking about your vehicle. Your vehicle that is borrowed, or that your avatar, which was made of this world. A lot of people walking around here, as I said, they are products of this world with a spirit that is against humanity. And they come in the form of light. So they have enlightenment. They're smart. They might even lower you in with kindness and shit like that. Deceivers. So smart they are. They're not stupid where they're gonna show themselves and just have attitude. So sometimes you see somebody that's very rude and shit like that, be sure that doesn't mean that they have demons in them and shit like that. What it is that they've been fucked with so much to the point that they've been manipulated. And their aura may be on its way down where they may become possessed. But they're not there yet. You gotta watch is those motherfuckers that's always kind and holly golly and shit like that. Those are the motherfuckers you gotta watch. Because with my life experience, I always seen that they're the ones that'll turn on you right away. When the time comes, they strike. They fill you out, then they strike later on. You gotta watch that. Take your kindness for weakness, not knowing that you're better than them. And then when you retaliate now and fuck them up because you're not thinking of the bigger picture, you find yourself getting locked up. What's the point? What's the point in just bashing their face in? You got to be careful with these people. That's why if you do something, if you pull out the gun, you pull the trigger, don't show it at all. You're gonna fuck somebody up. You fuck them up to the fullest because what you're going to do is find yourself in shit. If you want to build on some karma right now, we can do that. Though we've been building on it. And we have these conversations every now and then. With friends I know as. If you didn't do something to somebody and they fucking with you, you didn't do nothing to them, and you find them fucking with you, you say, okay, he's coming to bring bodily harm to me. And you found yourself defending yourself. But you didn't do nothing. So you went to the next level when it comes to defense. You might have pressed their face in, just bashed their head. Lucky you didn't get shot up and killed. But say you just bashed his head in or something like that. He's still alive. You just fucked him up. I would say, yeah, he deserves it. because you didn't do nothing to the person. I was just defending myself. But remember, we talked about karma. Sometimes your karma didn't come back around to you right away when you did something bad in your past. It may have waited years down the line to the point you forgot about some of the things you did, or you think you're in the okay zone and shit like that. Then when shit happens to you down the line, you're thinking that you're innocent because you're doing everything right in your life now. So guess what? You bashed his head in, not thinking about karma that you did years ago, and you find yourself in trouble. Sometimes, as I said, it could fall on your offsprings, where it's not even you that did something. It could be your parents or your ancestors, and it fell down on you. Now, me knowing that, I still protect myself because my purpose, as far as what I'm doing, I got on my purpose. If you're not doing what you're meant to be doing on this earth, karma is going to hit you in the ass from what your ancestors did or what your direct families did because you're offspring. So it might come right back around to bite you in the ass. But you're going to defend yourself, and I'll be allowed to because I didn't do nothing to this person. What you keep in mind is you have to have a balance of how you do things because maybe you did something in the past. And as I said, karma doesn't always have to come back around to you exactly to what you did to that person. So if I rob somebody, the karma may not come back to me in the form of robbery. So you have to be mindful of those things. That's why you take everything with an open heart, deal with the matters at hand. So when these karmas come back around to you, you show how improved you are when it comes to positivity and righteousness. So instead of bashing their face in, how did you know they're going to be successful with bringing you bodily harm? Did they put their hands on you yet? So you don't go and you have to have a balance when it comes to going in defense mode. You have to just timing. Timing is everything. Because what that might be, you might be overstepping certain things, certain parts that you could have actually taught that person a lesson for the better. But instead, you overstepped those boundaries and you went straight into defense mode. And that defense mode left him a victim. And then guess what? Karma's going to come right back around to you again. Or maybe on your offsprings because you didn't go about the situation accordingly at hand. So that's where it goes back to who delivers the first blow in a battle. How would you know if you never delivered the first blow yet? So timing is everything. Matter of fact, most of you don't even know how to defend yourselves. Most of you didn't even grow up in a rough neighborhood. Most of you don't even know how to fight. So you don't even know how to discern if he was going to deliver the first blow or be the suspect that turned into a victim. So you overstep your boundaries and you go into defense mode right away, not knowing that there's other ways to go around it before he actually tries to put his hands on you. But away from that shit, how I look at it is if you do something to somebody that never did nothing to you, expect to be shot. There's nothing wrong with me shooting you. It's okay for me to shoot a hole in your face if you try to bring me bodily harm. It's okay because I was just going about my day. If I'm going about my day and I didn't do nothing to you, so you be careful who you're fucking with. I will shoot you. I might take your life. Expect that to happen. If you're a person that feels like that's not fair, there's something wrong with you. Why are you fucking with people in the first place? You're lucky if you survived that shot. You had the most high on your side. Expect to get a piece of your limbs missing when I shoot my gun for trying to fuck with me or bring me body harm, knowing that I'm a peaceful person just going about my day. You see, this is why I don't get into internet bullshit, internet politics. This is why you don't take things seriously on the internet. One person once told me, and he helped me a lot because I used to be those people that, yo, I want to see this person. I want to fly out to where they are and just like show them. I want to teach them a lesson, all that. You know what? I think it's one of my boys. He told me, yeah, you know what? It was Boss Hands told me this. He told me, man, this is just the internet. Why take it seriously? Why take something that's cyber seriously? Taking your anger out and want to do something to somebody that doesn't even exist. They probably won't even show up to the fight. And I thought about that. I said to him, it was Boss. And I thought about that and I said to myself, yo, you don't know how much that helped me. Just hearing that. You know how much that helped me. I thought about that and said, yo, that used to help. Yo, I used to be a person I wanted to fight people and fly to where they are and this and that. And I said, when I heard that shit, I said to myself, this is real. I'm not going to give these people my energy anymore. Never again. So you don't take these motherfuckers that's on the internet seriously. Got these demons working through these electronics through people. And if you know that you live in a different state, you know that you can tell this person is a fake. He's not about what he says he is. You can tell that if you were supposed to actually see this person, they'll fold. What I'll do is just ignore them or combat that with love. Because when you combat that with love, it fucks them up. Because they're like, what the fuck? You see, demons, they want you to get engaged negatively. Negativity. They want you to get engaged with negativity. They want you to get angry, low vibe. Their job is to lower your vibration. So me just knowing that now, if I come back that with love, they don't want to deal with me no more. Or they might want to keep trying. What happens? Things die down over time because they realize what they're doing is not working. Because their job is to lower your vibration. So what you do is try to separate yourself as much as you can from them rather than trying to find them and engage with them. Because the low vibration will just become lower and lower because you're giving into the laws of karma at that point. When he told me that, that resonated with me. This was only like a couple months ago. And it helped my change to get even better. Because I changed before that. But I was still engaging with people, like joking around, arguing with them. And I said to myself, yo, that's some real shit. And from there, I never got into an internet argument again. You just ignore them. You can't ignore them. You combat that with love. That's how you win. Love always wins in the end. You get it? You can't fight fire with fire. So love will be the water for the fire. or or love can be the fire to a man that only have a flame and burn his ass up. It burns them up as it gets them pissed off. They need somebody to engage with them because that's their purpose. You know, when I come to a point in life now, I look at like they're not even doing nothing wrong. You know those motherfuckers that hate your guts and shit like that for nothing? They're not doing nothing wrong. They're just playing their role in the cycle of life, in the balance of life. They're there to test your heart. So a man like me now, I learn from my enemies. That's how you learn from your enemies, because your enemies get you stronger. The more you go through things, is the more you become witty, the more you become heavenly armed, mentally armed, the more you become more aware of how to deal with it in the future when you go through it again and again and again. It'll keep coming back to test you out until you get yourself into a corner where you can't get out of, which is like jail time or pen time. Even worse, pen time. You're stuck now. At least jail, you're still on trial. You're not in the pen yet. Or at least with jail, you know you're doing 2 years, 3 years max, and you may be out once you did your trial already. At least you know that. If you keep fighting negativity again when you come out, you might go to a point of no return. You can't come back from, all because you engage with a hater. If the person is hating you for a certain reason that's unverified and you don't understand, be sure that they're doing it with other people because that's their job. So don't think like you have to be the motherfucker that's going to correct them. Make somebody else fulfill their purpose, their obstacles. You already know the game. So your job is done. What you do is separate from those people. Somebody else is going to go through with them and learn a lesson. You got to go through the cycle of life. You got to go through turmoil in order to learn more. Yeah, and hope you guys got some jewels out of this when it comes to karma. Karma doesn't always have to come back around to you exactly how you did to somebody else. It could fall on their offsprings. Karma doesn't have to come back to you. It could fall on your grandchildren. So hope you learn a lesson there. Learn a lesson with people are not always who they present themselves to be in the long run. At first, they present themselves this way. In the long run, they turn out to be something else. There's more shit I can build on, but I know this is a long stream. It ain't that long, but you know what I mean? I was just literally trying out this app to see if it works or whatever, see how it works. I don't really use this shit, it looks kind of corny with this duck on the screen. I don't know what the fuck that is. I guess that's a label. But we'll do some more builds in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You don't take everything off face value because people are not always how they look. And that doesn't have to be with who they present themselves to be. This could be just a spirit inside them. I'm talking about the race in which they came from. This draconian knowledge goes a long way. Because some people actually carry that spirit inside them and don't know it. So when they talking all this ancestral bullshit about indigenous and blacks or we are the original and this and that, you don't always know that. You won't always know. Just because you look like this doesn't mean that's who you are. Some people doing this genealogy shit. That could only help you so much. Because at the end of the day, spirit's been recycled so many times. And this goes even before the Great Deluge or the flood or the cataclysms of ancient times. And unless you can trace yourself spiritually, you don't know exactly who you are just because your genealogy tells you that you're this race. You're talking about your physical genealogy of your physical family here on this system, but it goes beyond that. It's a spiritual warfare. We are spirits in vehicles, so your true selves are automatically spiritual. Your true selves is not what you see here in this meat vehicle. This avatar is not your true self. And as far as I'm concerned, race is more in the frequency. Race is more in the spirit. Race is more in the blood. If you're talking about this physical avatar, it's represented in the blood. So it goes real deeper than that. Can't always go off how somebody looks. And this goes for those Israelite motherfuckers that's on the street preaching all this bullshit. I agree with some things that some say because there's different variations of Israelites, just like there's different variations of Christianity. But when it comes to that race thing, they're totally lost. You may have some truth with that. We're not all kin folks. Not all skin folks is kin folks. So you don't look at somebody and call them a devil just because they look this way. Because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of you people that look this way is a devil. You want to do manifestation? You want to make manifestation real? You clean out your body. You do all the things it takes to get rid of those parasites in your body. And when you get rid of that, just know it's going to come with a period of time where you're not really feeling up to par, or you're not really feeling as vibrant as you once felt, because you was feeling a false sense of high vibration. And once you clean that out, you just stay on that path of cleansing. You know, change your dietary. You know, grow your own food. You know, we're in a time right now where agriculture is more important than anything. You know, agriculture is very important in these times we're living in. You know, learning how to grow your own food, learn how to grow fruits, vegetables. You know what I mean? Getting grounded. You know, being outside. You know, for a lot of you that's in apartments, a little more difficult. You know what I mean? For a lot of you have backyards and shit, it's a little more easier. Maybe not financially though. Um, for a lot of you that live in states that is hot climate all year round, even in the winter it's hot. Make use of it, you know, because you got people that's in certain parts in North America, like you got Chicago, you got certain parts in Canada, you got New York, you know, New Jersey, all these places. They got to deal with the winter, you know, where you can't grow things outside. So for those who can, where it's hot all year round, you want to make use of that as much as you can. You know, you know. You guys just keep doing that and doing the things I told you when it comes to stargazing, sunbathing, and maybe if you don't, if you open your mind a little bit more, have a more open mind, because you can do all that shit, but you don't have enough wisdom. So therefore, it's not going to be as impactful as some people that seen the invisible nature around them when they did that. They were able to see that because they think different than you think. They have a different heart than you do because of their experiences or being more open-minded to things. If you're more close-minded to things where certain things don't make sense to you because you never seen it before and all that, and you begin to do all this sun gazing and all this shit, and you clean yourself out, you know, you may only can get so far with spirituality, but it's still a start. Who knows? You know, it's a time for everything. You just find out who you are, where you stand, if shit actually happens to you. You know, I just feel like a big part of it is in the DNA for people who can actually see the invisible nature around them at times, or been through life experiences that would be unexplainable, where things shown itself and you never seen it again in years, and it's kind of like you forget about it, and maybe you've seen it like 5 years down the line again, and it's like, oh shit. And you have a couple close friends that you told this story to, and they don't get it, and you feel alone in the fight and all this shit, And be like me. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what anybody thinks? That's your life experience. You're not the only person that witnessed it. You're not the only entity that's seen it. Your life story is written. Your life story has witnesses. So just because you feel alone doesn't necessarily mean that you're spiritually alone. You might be physically alone, but you're not spiritually alone. And for people, why would you need validation from people who can't even be by themselves for more than a week? They go crazy. Why do you need validation from them? They're weak. Why do you need validation from people who need validation from other people? Why do you need validation from people who just live for money and women and materialistic things? Why do you need validation from people who look up to rappers or mainstream entertainers and celebrities? The only validation I want is the validation from the most highest creator and my higher self. That's it. If you don't believe in that, I don't know what the fuck validation you're looking for. What you should be doing is getting validation from yourself. I couldn't give a flying fuck what somebody thinks about me, especially somebody that doesn't like you. Somebody don't like you. Who gives a fuck what they think? Their thoughts is unimportant. It's not important. Who cares what somebody thinks who doesn't like you? You want to make the person like you? You want the person to like you that badly that it's going to make you go outside of yourself in order to get validation to make you feel better? You're becoming weak. You're making somebody else control you. If you're making somebody else control you, I cannot take you serious. And unfortunately, I don't take most of this world serious because most people in this world is looking for outside validation. Bullshit validation. Come on. You already know, if you're a straight motherfucker like me, you already know females is probably one of the best things in this life. When I'm even female, I'm looking to give me validation. I don't need validation. I didn't ask you to validate me, but you're going to validate me. So you're playing God now. You want to judge somebody that you don't fully know the half about. I don't judge people. That's one thing I learned. I learned to never judge people because you never know what people been through, what they're going through, and where they're going. You focus on yourself and stop worrying about other people. And maybe when you get you somewhere with yourself, somewhere successful, spiritually successful, maybe systematically successful also, maybe then you begin to start working with other people and working on other people. And maybe they can validate your product that you're putting out there for others rather than getting validated and you're not somewhere yet. You don't even own a own business or nothing and you're looking for outside validation. Come on. These motherfuckers out here mixing up the Most High with Jesus, you know. It's another one too. I don't think I'll go too deep on that one. But I'd like to ask you guys out there. The Most High said, don't put other gods before me. Why are you putting the righteous teacher called Christ before the Most High? Right? That's a big situation right there. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's idol worship also, right? I mean, he's a righteous teacher. He's not the creator. Not the source, creator. And for all you motherfuckers out there that keep speaking about Christ, or are you speaking about Jesus or are you talking about Christ when you're dissing Jesus? As far as I'm concerned, they're two different entities. But for those motherfuckers out there that keep speaking about that, why don't, while you're at it, why don't you diss Prophet Muhammad? Why don't you diss those other prophets out there in these different doctrines that people worship? A lot of people are just stuck on Christianity, not knowing that an Arab, especially for the so-called black people or colored people that keep dissing the Christian doctrine, or the ones that have a problem with pale-faced people, why are you so angry with those people when it wasn't a white person who sold you into slavery first? It was Arab. I never hear nobody say nothing about Arabs though. I always hear Jesus or this and that. What about Muhammad? So even those people I don't take seriously. I don't take none of you truth community motherfuckers seriously. I don't take a person who's looking for validation seriously, because a lot of those people that speak that shit, they're automatically looking for validation too. Because if you had a lot of people that disliked you and don't like you speaking about it, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't speak about it. But because it's the end thing, and most people are speaking about it, it gives you more ammo to speak about it. It's kind of like a rapper who raps and he's rapping for truth. You put out truthful music and this and that, but really you're fake because you're looking for validation. You're only doing it because you want people to like your music. You see, if I was you now, if I'm in your position, I don't do music because I want people to like it. What you get is what you get. If you don't like my music, you go somewhere else and listen to music. I don't give a fuck how you feel about me or my music. My music is truth for me. It's truthful to me. It's my life. It's my diary. It's shit that I put out there. So if I die, the people who care about me or want to hear something about me, they can have something to go to listen to remember me by. And I speak about my life that's truth to me, because I can't sit there and write a line that's fake. I can't sit there and write bullshit. I speak about my life experience or my surroundings, what I experienced or seen, or what I know people that have been through around me That's what I speak about. My environment, my childhood, my upbringing, or what I'm currently going through, or what I want to see happen. Or if I might under exaggerate because I don't want to tell you the exact story. I might over exaggerate a little bit just to give it a little oomph. That's the most you'll get out of me. I don't do music and write fake words, fake lines for outside validation. And if you're a rapper that's doing that, what you should do is quit while you're at it. And that parallels with other things too. When it comes to occupation, like your job occupation, if you're doing it just because you're trying to make money out of it, what I would do if I were you, make that money and get the fuck out of there while you can, because that's not for you. Get into your purpose while you can. You do what you don't like in order to get somewhere that's in your purpose. You don't stay in it just because it makes you good money. What is your end goal? Where do you want to be with this money that you're obtaining? Like, you have a lot of people that stay in jobs that they don't like. They're stuck and scared to move on because they don't have enough faith that they're going to get this money from somewhere else. Or what is getting you is validation. I hope you guys really is taking these things I'm talking about. Really let it sink in. Let it marinate in your thoughts. Let the season resonate and mix it around and understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Be yourself and stop being who people want you to be. Some of you kept being what other people wanted you to be for so long to the point you don't even know how to be yourself. That's a major problem. You don't even know yourself because you don't spend enough time with yourself. The only self that you know is a self that you kept trying to be for other people. So when it comes now to times where you're by yourself, you don't know how to be yourself. I don't mean to laugh at you, but that damn there's a problem. Get out of the nature of emotions and anger and negativity. You know, a healthy lifestyle, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this before from many speakers or teachers or truthers. It starts within the mind, right? I like to say it starts from the heart, or if you're going to deal with the chakras, it starts from the root up. Well, you got to get out of those ways of thinking somehow, right? You want to get rid of low vibrational thoughts. You want to get rid of the emotional aspect of your character, especially if you're a man. A man is supposed to be solid. A man should not be operating like a woman. It's okay for the woman. It's not okay for the man to be operating through life with emotions. That's a big problem. So if you're quick to get all riled up, you have a problem. If you're, I was like that. I was quick tempered. Down the line, I would lash out right away. Quick, short tempered. And I'm perfect like that. Where every now and then it may come a little bit. But what you gotta do is get out of that, because I used to niggas have it backwards. They think like because you're like that, That's a real nigga. That's a real motherfucker. How backwards they are, not knowing that who you're calling real is feminine. He's feminine as fuck. He gets angered so easily. A lot of women just use you, man. That's like that. They don't respect you. Even if they don't say nothing, they don't respect you in the back of their mind. Because you operate with emotions, off emotions. You think logically, think logical. And if you know what, when you stay out of your head, this is less you're going to go through these situations anyways. Because the thoughts in your head that make you lash out. Thinking that you have to do something because people are going to think this about you and this and that. These are all these thoughts you're thinking. Just go through life with your heart and follow your heart. You're obviously going to be going to where you need to be going. You don't go somewhere for no reason to hang out and parlay and this that. You go towards things that's going to help you with your goal and your future. When you're going with the heart, and if you worked on your alkalinity, you're going to automatically be brought to those places that's in the betterment for yourself, rather than fucking staying around people that's not for you and going places with them and always linking up with people that's not even working on themselves. And then you find yourself going through things, then thoughts come into your head and you act off the thoughts, and then you get yourself further into more shit. And before you know it, it's going to be so much harder for you to get alkalined up, because now you're getting jail food, or now you're getting hospital food, or now you can't even fucking walk because you got yourself paralyzed. That's why you think like a man, which is logic and going off the heart. Think with your heart and not the mind. And it takes a lot of training for people that don't know how to think with their heart yet. It takes a lot of life experience and wisdom for people who don't know how to think with the heart yet. You know, we're in a time now. I don't like to say the end. What you gotta do is, you don't know the time. You might know signs of the time, but you don't know the exact time. So you want to be living every day just in case it's your last. And you don't want to die in an acidic state of negative emotions. If you die, God forbid, you want to die in a high vibrational state of thinking, or of thinking. You want to die in a high vibrational state, and the pain won't be as painful. And I said this on the other stream to end it off. When you die in a low vibrational state, the pain might be very painful, rather than you're high vibrational and say you get a shot in the head, or you died very harsh. You had a harsh death. To people that's looking in from the outside, that's witnessing your death, to them it might look very, oh my gosh, like scary or gruesome. But really, you didn't feel it. You died in peace because you were high vibrational. Rather than somebody who dies in a low vibrational state and they're feeling all of that. They're feeling all of that. You didn't work on yourself. If you're living with too much emotions, you're obviously low density. I'll give you guys, I'll spend 10 more minutes with you guys. I might read some of the comments in the chat. Spend a couple more minutes. Shots, man. Damn, I miss a lot. It wasn't me. I seen it moving before. I'm sitting. I can't really read it. But I could read it here now. I'm just us pop is this. You guys probably left it. I just probably stepped off, man. C Dub. Peace, brother. C Dub. I'm just C Dub, man. Peace, man. Thanks for coming through, my brother. Alan Crooks, you done know. Done know Alan Crooks. Bronze King. Bronze Flat Power, you done know. See. Us first the buff. Done know. Milos. Going Famos. Sherelle came through. Sherelle. Go on, sis. Boss Hands. I had to shout out Boss Hands because he helped me out for real, man. That time, man. He told me that really stayed with me, man. Like these guys are just cyber people. They don't waste your time with somebody that don't exist. Like that shit was real. Yeah. Wax Warrior. Peace. Peace, Wax Warrior. Oh, that's how you do this shit, eh? Okay. Okay, that's how you do it. Killer Miller. Peace, sis. Killer Miller. All right, man. I got, a couple of respect for y'all, man. Coming through, man. I'll put up some of these, you know what I mean? Yeah. Peace, everybody, bro. It's all y'all, man. We touch on, parasitical nature. You know what I mean? Touch on a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's the buff, you know what I mean? Respect to all y'all, man. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Just like little random thoughts, you know what I'm saying? I probably regurgitate like where I can build on these things separately more and shit like that. I know it's movie Monday. I'm about to be in a Discord. Get out, you know what I mean? Hang out with family, you know. Happy belated Father's Day to all y'all. I don't celebrate none of that shit, but you know what I mean? Got a chance to even be with my family and shit like that. So um, hope y'all like the stream. Have fun with this. Whoever tuned in, whoever came through outside of those in the chat or whatever. Next build, I might just go into fucking injuries. I might just talk about like disabilities I grew up with or something like that. Like just going like little stories of how I came up or some shit. You know, I think I'll just do that. Might be short streams though. It may not be too long. I don't even know if I'll do it live or whatever. But you know what I mean? We'll do some shit, man. Look forward for more music coming. I got fucking bangers coming, man. These what you see is nothing compared to what I got coming. You know what I mean? Got some real shit around the corner. Look forward. You know what I'm saying? Got my little red label. You know what I'm saying? My red stripe. I drink the red label too. You know? That's finished obviously, but I got the red labels. There's a couple of these are more like the Jamaican imports. You know what I'm saying? Got the red labels. Sorry, this is red label right here. This is the red label. You know what I mean? This is finish up. Red label is one of my favorites. You know what I mean? You like to make the two Jamaican drinks right here, man. Got a lot of Jamaican shit, you know. While I was there, I got the Ray Nephews. You know what I mean? I mostly stick with that shit, Appleton. You know what I mean? It gets like I don't drink heavy like you see me. I had one bottle for the whole stream. I can't drink like I used to. You know, don't like getting like that. Um, you know, winter time I go with the hard stuff at the Red Nephews. Take a shot before you go on the street in the winter. You know, what I mean, it's freezing out there. The snow and the blizzard and all that. You know what I mean? The beer time, I just take it easy and just drink a 1-2 beer. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all that know me like months ago, like before I changed a little bit, I was drinking like, you know what I mean, a 12 pack a day and shit like that. You know, if I had like a friend or two with me, you know, we're drinking like 224s. So, you know what I mean? A lot has changed with me, man. It changed. You know, I don't even smoke like that no more. You know, I have my tobacco I'll burn. You know what I mean? That's about it. I don't like getting high like that or drunk and shit like that. So, you know, I'm trying to live a little more healthy life and stay away from these a lot of these American type drinks and shit like that. You know, these North American processed type beers and shit like that. I don't trust it. So I like to stay with the stuff from back home, more natural, raw remedies, and I take a lot of herbs already. I even grow my own marijuana, but mainly for tea. I drink a lot of tea. You know, I don't have the shit with me right now, but I'll show you maybe next stream if I do one. I don't know if I'm feeling up to it. I hope y'all guys enjoy this shit, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit we have to talk about because this is what's going on. You can't be judging people by how they look. You never know. The people, this is what, people are attracted to what they hate. That's one thing I learned about this life. So if somebody doesn't like you, they're going to follow you because they don't like you, or they'll wonder about you because they don't like you, right? They're attracted to you. They're attracted to what they hate. They'll keep following. You ever wonder, like, if you don't like somebody, why do you follow them, right? So a lot of these motherfuckers are. If you don't like somebody, wouldn't you? If you're somebody like me, if I don't like somebody, I just stop following you or leave your page alone. Try to disconnect myself far away from you. I try to separate myself, have no ties with this person. Like for a lot of weirdos, they're the other way around. Where I don't like this guy. Well, they wonder about you, man. You subscribe to his channel. They watch you, but they don't like you, right? Weirdos, man. You know what I mean? And I got nothing but love. You know, people that know me, I'm all about love, man. You know, I used to be like trolling heavy. Every now and then I might do a little troll shit, but I only troll for love. You know, it's not like hate trolling or whatever. People need to get the hate out their heart, man. You know, some people take things that's not seriously too serious. You know what I mean? Just have fun with life and stuff like that, man. You know, it's okay to joke around and shit, but in this society, people have that hard face, that mean face, because they're just too used to being fucked over. So they don't take jokes too lightly. So, gotta be careful who you're joking with and learn not to judge a look by the cover, a book by its cover, which is not all only looks, but it's also how somebody presents themselves. You know what I mean? They speak, even speech is judging look book by its cover. So you got to be careful with all that shit, man. You know what I mean? Get rid of the anger, get rid of the hatred, and move up in life. You know what I'm saying? Moving up, vibrate higher, move up the alkalinity still. You know what I mean? Leave the acidic nature alone. You know what I mean? That's a start. Peace all y'all, man. I'm out of here. 2 hours already, man. How the fuck you end this shit? Don't know.